This is the follow along workout for Monday, April 27th. We start out with a 16-minute alternating EMOM, focusing on strength. The way we're going to complete this is each minute gets its own exercise. We start the first minute with these Turkish get-ups. You do a Turkish get-up on the left arm. For the first minute, we're looking for 1 to 2 Turkish get-ups on that arm. Moving slow, thinking about stabilizing your shoulder, stabilizing your core. And we're going to spend 30 seconds of the next minute with these overhead lunges. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So minute 3 is 1 to 2 Turkish get-ups on the other arm. And then the last minute, within that minute, we want 30 seconds of that overhead lunge. Second piece of the workout is going to be more metabolic conditioning, and we're looking at 4 rounds for time. So for the practical, we're looking at 20 of these plank rows, single arm plank rows, 10 on each arm. And we have 40 of these air squats. For the tactical, each round we'll have 20 pull-ups and we'll still have 40 of the air squats. Welcome to the warm-up, guys. We are getting ready here for some Turkish get-ups, some overhead lunges, squats, pull-ups, or rows. So we're gonna focus on some of those aspects. Try to keep those things in mind as we're getting into this here. This down dog, you can get started on that ankle mobility. Try to walk those calves out one at a time. You can push your head through your hands, through your shoulders a little bit, open up. Again, think about that task we have coming up, trying to put those shoulders in that position. When you drop your hips, open your chest up, open your shoulders up, shift around, open up those hip flexors a little bit, breathe into it. I'm going to start thinking about the question of the day today. Would you rather not be able to use a search engine or not be able to use social media for the rest of your life? Can't, and we can sit back into this down dog again. Can't search the greatest collection of knowledge the world has ever seen, or can't keep up with your friends and brag to people about your lifestyle. I'm gonna go with, I'll give up social media. I think I'd like the search engine. That'd be nice. We can work in here to this Russian baby maker. We're gonna drop into a nice deep squat, feet underneath you. Find that foot distance that's comfortable for you. And again, we want to just shift around. We have those squats coming up. Want to just make sure that position has been opened up, spend some time down there. And then we're gonna alternate that with kicking your hips up, straighten your legs out, try to stretch those hamstrings, round your spine. Again, we can shift around, kind of hit those hips at a few different angles, and then drop back in. Your ankles up. You can drive those elbows against your knees. Nice. We can work into this plank here, walk your hands out in front. We're gonna alternate an instep. So driving up your foot right by where your hands are, chest is tall, sit into those hips, kick back, driving the other side. Hips are down, chest is tall, open up that knee. Nice control. Tighten up that back leg, tighten up your core. We're gonna hold that hip in place. Make all those joints work together. Chest is tall, shoulders are engaged, lats are engaged. in. You can find, whatever speed is more suitable for you. Some people like to go a little bit faster, do a few more. Some people like to go slower. Depends on how it feels. If it's tight, maybe spend a little extra time. Don't move through so fast through things. We can move into this alternating side plank here. This can be from your elbow, driving up. It can be from your knees, driving those hips forward, pulling your shoulder back, or if you want to come up to your hand, drive up, push everything out. We want to alternate. We're going to go for 45 seconds. I'm up on one side. I'm going to shift into this plank, over to the other side, drive my hips through, chest nice and tall, pack that shoulder in. This doesn't have to be a super fast move. We can get to where we're going. We can challenge ourselves on this side, raise a leg, reach through, however you want to do that. Let's go 45 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Alternating side to side. Stabilizing, pushing that hip through, pulling your shoulder back. One side, next. Again, packing that shoulder in, have a strong base you're moving from. Got about 10 seconds here. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. I might have done like 30 seconds on that one, but I'm sure you won't mind. Finish out this initial part here. These Egyptians, just internally and externally rotating these shoulders, reaching through, getting that rotator cuff turned on, warmed up, squeeze. Try to connect with those smaller movements. And again, shoulders packed in, everything connected. My core, I'm breathing, reaching one way and the other. And again, if your preference is to move a little bit faster, a little bit slower, feel free to connect with the movement yourself, get what you can out of it. Very nice. All right, we're gonna finish off this warm up before we jump into the real thing. We're gonna practice our Turkish get-ups. We're gonna do some air squats, and we're gonna do some lunges. Just make sure joints are warmed up, muscles are warm before we jump into our first strength imam. So we're gonna do Turkish get-up, just one body weight get-up on each side, and I'll just do one nice and slowly. I'll try to talk as loud as I can through it, so you know what you should be doing. And we're gonna start on the left side. So I'm laying down, pretend I have that weight, I can press it up. Again, my shoulders packed in, I wanna pretend it's heavier than it really is. Create that tension to sustain a heavier weight once we get there. But I'm holding with my left hand, my left leg is gonna be bent, and my heel is gonna be driven through the ground, and my right leg should be about 45 degrees off my center line. Same with my right hand. I'm driven in here, my left shoulder's packed in, I'm looking at my fist, at my palm. I'm gonna push through my left heel, and I'm gonna roll up to my right elbow. Again, I'm nice and strong, I'm pushing my right shoulder away from me, I'm bracing myself. I'm gonna pivot to my hand, and again, keep that weight right overhead. I'm gonna pretend it's heavier than it is. I can bring my right heel in, so both of my feet are next to each other. I'm gonna bridge up and get my knee right underneath me. Make sure I'm in a nice stable place. From here, I can sit up, nice and tall, my abs are tight. I'm gonna bring my feet facing the same direction, whether that's a shift in the back foot or in the front foot, but as long as everything's facing the same way, my back toe is pressed down. Again, shoulders packed in, everything's strong. Let's move together all at once. Up to the top, again, abs are tight, glutes are tight, packing that shoulder in. I'm gonna step back with that right foot, open up my stance. I'm gonna sit this hip back a little bit and reach just underneath me. I'm gonna go ahead and kick through, put that hip to the ground, then I can roll to my elbow, roll all the way back, let that hand down. We're gonna go right side now, same thing, just as slow. Right arm, packed in, pretend that weight is up there, keep it right on top. Pretend it's heavier than it really is. My right leg is bent, my heel is in the ground there. My left leg is about 45 degrees off the center line, same as my left arm, just off there. I can push through my right heel. Again, my shoulders packed in, holding that, rolling up to my elbow. The shoulder is nice and strong on that left side. I'm bracing myself My chest is tall. I can pivot to my hand, keeping that weight right above me. Everything's nice and tight. I can bring my heel in so both feet are next to each other. I'm gonna bridge up and get my knee right underneath me. Again, I can adjust, make sure I'm in a strong position before I sit up. Abs are tight, shoulders connected. I'm gonna get my feet going the same direction. I'm gonna make sure that back toe is down. I'm gonna press through both feet and stand tall at the top. Weight is directly above, shoulders packed in, abs are tight, glutes are tight. And go ahead and step back. Again, open up my stance. I'm gonna sit my hip back just a little bit, reach just underneath me. Again, paying attention to that hand. Make sure it's right above, make sure my shoulders packed in. I can sit through, roll my elbow, and roll all the way back. I'm gonna let that heavy weight come down. Very cool. That's the Turkish get up. We're gonna do 1 or 2 of those on each arm for a minute. And the next 16-minute E4 mile. Let's go 5 air squats. Again, chest tall, open up those knees, drive through, working on position, working using those eccentrics, getting myself into the correct position, balance, feet connected to the ground, core braced from the inside. I had to do them in 5, right? And then 5 lunges on each side. We can alternate, or you can do 5. You can step forward. As long as you got 10 total lunges, 5 on each leg. Chest is tall, again, making sure that knee stays open, not collapsing in. Opening up those external rotators, getting that hip involved. Nice and tall. Excellent. We're gonna do that 2 more times. I'm gonna go a little bit quicker this time around. We know what we have. A Turkish get up on each side, 5 air squats, and 5 lunges on each side. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. You can follow along with me. You can go at your own pace. Let's get 2 more rounds. Make sure we're warm. Make sure you're comfortable with the movements before we jump in here. Again, that shoulders packed. Nice and set up. Driving through my heel to my elbow. Pivot to my hand. Bridge. Knee underneath. Sit up. Squeeze the top. Step back. Open the hip. Sit back. Kick through. Roll your elbow. Other side. Driving through that heel to get to your elbow. Come to the hand, bring the foot in, bridge underneath. It's tight, everything straight ahead. Connected at the top. Open, sit through. Very nice. We'll do 5 squats here. Lunges on each side. Good breathing. Controlled movements. Trying to lubricate those joints. Trying to bring the blood in. 1 more round here. 1 on each side. Turkish get up. Pausing at each point, controlling your breathing. All right, 5 more squats. 5 lunges on each side. All right, take your time, finish that out for yourself. We're jumping into this next 16-minute alternating EMOM, 2 Turkish get-ups on one side, 1 to 2. You're gonna spend a minute on Turkish get-ups. You're gonna spend 30 seconds of the next minute with an overhead lunge. Again, really thinking about stabilizing that shoulder, packing everything in, working those endurance muscles a little bit more. It's gonna burn. You're gonna have to hold through that. We're just going back and forth between those. One side and the other. That should take 4 minutes. We're doing that 4 times. Make sure you're ready. I'll see you in a second. All right, so like I just said, get-ups on one side. We spend a minute trying to get 1 to 2. The next minute, we're doing overhead lunges on the same arm. You can do the same side leg, or you can do opposite leg. You can alternate, however you want to approach that for yourself. Then we do the other side, 1 to 2, spend that minute doing Turkish get-ups, and then 30 seconds out of that last minute doing overhead lunges in whatever way, with whatever tools you have. If your shoulder starts to fatigue, I would say bring that weight down, and let's keep trying to work for that 30 seconds. We can still stabilize, you can still have a nice strong position here, and it won't be quite as intense as that overhead. So make those adjustments for yourself if you like, but let's get into this thing. 1 to 2 minutes, or 1 to 2 get-ups for the first minute. That's what we're starting with here. I'm gonna start on my left arm. Feel free to start on whatever arm you like. We're gonna hit both eventually anyway. All right, here we go. This is gonna be 16 minutes. Alternating EMOM. Every minute, we're changing the exercise. Here we go. First round starts in 10 seconds. Working on these get-ups. The goal, I would say, is to slow down, think more about time under tension. We're trying to get 1 to 2 in this minute. Let's make sure we're controlled, we're pausing, we're not using that speed to make up for maybe some weakness we have in a certain position. Don't speed by any position. Almost 30 seconds in. We can try for one more if you're here with me. Again, controlling through that core, stabilizing that shoulder, taking that second at each stage to establish position before you move on. We got about 15 seconds here, so I think it's a good time to wrap up. We're gonna go overhead lunge here. You can start right on the minute, or you can start 10 seconds in. I'm gonna try to help you out. 3, 2, 1, let's start. And I'll just let you know every 10 seconds. So if you don't wanna start right away, you can start a little later. Here we go. We're 10 seconds in. I'm gonna start now. Abs are tight. We're trying to go for 30 seconds here. Stabilizing that shoulder. Abs nice and tight. Again, opening up that front knee. Don't let it collapse in. Try to connect into that foot. We're 20 seconds in here. 30 seconds in. Abs tight. Pack that shoulder. Have everything move in the same direction. 3, 2, 1. That's 40 seconds in. And 3, 2, 1. That's 50 seconds in. Hopefully you started at least by the 20-second mark. I would say to try to do that. Let's go. Other side, get ups here. We're trying for 1 or 2. Remember that opposite leg is kicked out straight, same side leg is bent. And drive up, brace yourself. Take your time in this position. Make sure that back toe is down before you stand. Again, just steady movement, steady breathing. We can use that overhead lunge time to make it a little bit more intense. Get that heart rate up a little bit more. I would say breathe. Use this as almost an active recovery. Get yourself ready for that more intense 30-second burst. We got about 20 seconds left here as I'm wrapping up my second. I would say work on wrapping up your your get-ups. And again, 30 seconds of this next minute, we're dedicating to an overhead lunge. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can start now. You can wait. I think I'm gonna wait. Give myself 10 extra seconds here. Why not? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 30 seconds here. Grabbing the ground with your foot. Try to have that connection from the tips of your toes, up through your ankle, through your knee, through your hip. Abs are tight, stabilizing that spine, not just arching and opening up. We want muscles on both sides in control. We're 30 seconds in here. Very nice. 40 seconds in. 50 seconds in. And let's wrap that up if you haven't yet. That was round number 1. We're getting back in. Turkish get-ups on one side. I'm going left, whatever side you started with. 3, 2, 1. Steady breathing. Still working on maintaining control as we work. Again, moving from a strong position, taking that extra second to make sure you have good hold of it. You're not just rushing through. About 30 seconds in. Drive through that heel to roll yourself up. Use that leg. About 10 seconds left. We're gonna start wrapping up that. Get up. Working into an overhead lunge. Holding on that same side. 3, 2, 1. And shoulders backed in. We are 10 seconds in. Trying to maintain that stability. Straight overhead. Not trying to get a lot. It's 30 seconds. Either way. Use that time under tension. Challenge the stabilizers in your shoulder and your core a little bit more. We're 30 seconds in. Try to keep those hips underneath you as best you can. Don't let that back arch too much. We're 40 seconds in. Use this time in between. Clear your lungs. You got about 10 seconds left. Wrap that up. Move on to the right side. Again, right side get-ups. 3, 2, 1. Drive into your heel. Up to your elbow. Pivot to your hand. Heel comes in. Bridge up. Sit tall. Tracks. Stand tall. Nice. Back. Roll your elbow. All the way through. About 25 seconds in. One for another. Got about 15 seconds. Really try to make sure you keep that weight straight over your shoulder. Pack that shoulder in. Don't let it lean one way or the other. Move from a strong position. Here we go. Moving into those overhead lunges. 3, 2, 1. We got this whole minute to do 30 seconds worth. Again, nice and slow. Pack that shoulder. 3, 2, 1. We're 10 seconds in. You can go one side. Stay on one side. You can alternate. 3, 2, 1. We're 20 seconds in. Abs are tight. Keep those hips underneath you. Again, nice and slow. Controlled. We are 30 seconds in. And again, keeping that hand straight up overhead. 3, 2, 1. We're 40 seconds in. Very nice. Again, Breathing. We're halfway through this thing already. It's about 10 seconds. Starting back on that left side. 3, 2, 1. We have this whole minute to just practice your Turkish get-ups. Take your time. Stabilize. Control each phase. You don't have to rush through. So just continue working while we're breathing. Getting ready for that next hard round. We got a nice active recovery here. Got about 30 seconds. Very nice, right about that 45-second mark here. I want to start wrapping up. I want to get ready for that left side overhead lunge or lunge on your shoulder. Here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds of overhead lunging. Start whenever you like. Try to get 30 seconds in. We are 10 seconds in. Again, let's pay attention to that spine. Hold everything together. Try not to stress that lower back too much. We're 20 seconds in. Come on, 30 seconds here. Each one. Try to hold everything perfect. We're 30 seconds in. Keep that front knee open. Driving through both feet. And we're 40 seconds in. I'm gonna start thinking about wrapping up soon. Getting ready for get-ups on the right side. 10 seconds away. Here we go. We get a minute to practice your get-ups. This is an active recovery. 3, 2, 1. Back that shoulder in. Move with control. On everything connected. On each move. Give yourself time to settle into each position. Try not to compensate with speed. Try to slow down. Any point that you feel like you have to move fast, you got 30 seconds. Let's keep working. Nice movement through your core. Nice and strong. Got about 15 seconds. Work on wrapping up. All right. We're working into 30 seconds of an overhead lunge on the right side. 30 seconds. Whenever you're ready, shoulders packed in, straight line from your hand, through your shoulder, through your hip. We're 10 seconds in. Just as tall, both shoulders connected. Try to create that tension across. Even on the side you're not using. 20 seconds in. 30 seconds in. Really hold that shoulder tight. No movement. 40 seconds in. Start thinking about wrapping up soon. 1 or 2 more reps. Getting ready here for our last round. One more time on each side. 10 seconds away. Getting into that Turkish get up on the left side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got a minute to practice. Take your time. Use the right movements, the right muscles to get to each place. Make sure you're breathing in between. That core connected the whole way through. Nice efficient movement. Everything moving together. Got about 30 seconds. All right, here we go. Getting 15. Let's work on wrapping it up. And this is our last overhead lunges on this side, 30 seconds within this minute. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Keeping it nice and connected there. Abs are tight, holding those ribs down. Connected on both sides here. Opening up my knee. My whole foot is attached to the ground. My toes are gripping. We're 20 seconds in. Hopefully you start. Back that shoulder in. As little movement up there as possible. 30 seconds in. Forty seconds in. All right. Done with the left side. Just the right side to finish it off. 2 more minutes. Getting into these nice and steady Turkish get-ups here on the right side. If you start at the same time as I did. 3, 2, 1. Again, let's slow down. Take this minute to practice. We're breathing. We want to be fresh for those last set of overhead lunges. Taking that time to breathe, moving efficiently, not rushing. Nice control. Still about 30 seconds. Keeping that hand right overhead. Don't make your shoulder have to work more than it has to. We got about 15 seconds. We start wrapping up, getting to our last set of overhead lunges on whatever side it is for you. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got 30 seconds within this minute. I'm gonna start now. Nice and controlled, going down slow. 10 seconds in, setting up that position. Driving through it. Keeping that shoulder connected. Knuckles straight up in the air. We're 20 seconds in. Straight through. 30 seconds in. Again, connecting with those feet. All the way up through the hip. We're 40 seconds in. Started late, let's wrap up those last few. Strong and connected, good breathing. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the first part of this workout. I will see you in a minute. All right, guys, so the next piece here is 4 rounds for time. We have 20 either plank pulls or 20 pull-ups, and then 40 air squats. Driving down, coming back up 40 times. So either 20 of some kind of pull and 40 air squats. And we do that 4 times, 4 rounds per time. At the end of the day, it's a 15-minute time cap. So if you wanna just pace yourself and have a little bit more steady intensity where you're working on form, this is a great opportunity for that as well. There's 15 minutes designated. If you want to try to beat that and finish it, more power to you. If you want to do the other way, that's probably what I'm going to do. So 15 minutes we have here, starting out with our pulls and our squats. You know what, let me turn this music up real quick. Give us something. All right, hopefully you can hear that. Hopefully it's working. I'll try and talk over it too. Here we go, 15 minutes. We got pulls and we got squats, 10 seconds. If you got water, let's be ready. 10 on each arm with this plank row. Here we go, dropping in. My hip is low, my abs are tight. I'm braced with this shoulder underneath me. Trying to keep as straight as I can through my hips. Squeezing that elbow back, squeezing my shoulder back a little bit. Pulling nice and low. And again, keeping those abs tight, holding that stability. 10 on one side, on the other. Another angle here. Get those feet separated, give yourself a little bit wider base there for stability. And again, just one pull at a time. Quality reps, holding everything in. Not straining that lower back, making sure we're pulling from a strong position. All right, now I got 40 air squats. Hardest part about this is counting for me. Again, opening those knees up, keeping my chest tall, keeping my feet gripped in the ground. I'm balanced over my feet. I'm not leaning forward too much. I'm not on my heels too much. And my chest is tall, my core is braced. I'm breathing, holding that in. My toes are clenched on the ground. Full range of motion, kicking those hips back. All right. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna try pull-ups for this next round here. Have access to anything, it's a great workout. Not too hard to figure out a pull-up situation for yourself. Go find a tree. It's a great workout you can do outside. I'm trying to lead with my chest. I'm not just trying to pull myself over that bar. Nice and controlled reps, whether you're doing pull-ups or rows. Make sure we maintain that core position. Make sure our shoulders are packed in and stabilized. Again, trying to move everything at once. Using that breathing. Tighten up the core. Squeeze with the right muscles. I'm just trying to get the reps. All right. And just like with anything, if you take your time and try to focus on doing it right, moving correctly, you'll be able to keep doing it much longer. You'll work on making your body healthier rather than just stronger in the moment. You want to be more effective, actually fit. If you're injured, you're not very fit. The better you treat yourself while you're moving, the better chance you have of being uninjured and healthy. Don't let your short-term gains get in the way of your long-term health. You got a lifetime to move. Want to make sure you can keep doing it. Again, steady breathing. You can move fast. If that's your speed, a little bit slower. Always moving with correct form, always controlled. Always breathing, getting ready for that next piece. Again, 20 plank rows, 20 pull-ups, about 5.5 minutes in here. Breathe, loosen up those shoulders, loosen up your legs in between. Depending on the weight you're using, the speed you're moving, it's gonna be pretty intense. All right, 20 rows, 20 pull-ups, 40 squats. Always maintaining even hips, walking those feet out, give yourself that stability to pull through. This arm is right underneath me, my shoulders packed in, I'm not too far out in front, I'm not too much underneath. I want to balance control with my shoulders on both sides. Again, my hips aren't kicking back. If I'm feeling the need to do that, I take a rest for a second. Make sure I can come back with good form, squeeze together. Again, perfect form every time. Try to maintain that integrity. That's going to be the most important thing for you, is how you're moving the weight. Not how much weight you're moving, not how often you're moving, how well you move is going to be the biggest determinant. Hold yourself to that. Get everything together, tightening up that core, stabilizing, feeling strong as you move. Right. I'm moving into my squats. About moving everything together. Shouldn't be in pain. As I work through this range of motion, I should feel secure, should feel balanced. I should try to connect everything together. From my toes, through my ankles, up my lower leg, up my calf, into my knees, up my quad, into my hamstrings, my glutes, up my lower back, having that abdominal stability up front, squeezing through the back of my shoulders, top to bottom. Create that tension. Squeeze in my fists. Make it harder than it has to be. We're here to create an effect on your body. Don't find the easy way out. Try to create that effect. I can't count, but that had to have been 40, I think. Try these pull-ups one more time here. Again, just one perfect rep at a time. Don't rush through. Steady intensity, steady torn up. Try to connect through that core, control your hips. More than enough pull-ups for me today. We'll finish this off with a few more rows for myself. base. Packing that shoulder in, hold my hips down, glutes tight, abs tight. Nothing moves as that weight comes up. All right. 40 squats to finish. Open those knees, chest stays tall. One at a time. Drive those feet to the ground. That connection throughout that whole range. Steady breathing. Maintaining that balance in both knees, in both feet, both sides of your hips. Try to feel exactly the same on both sides. All the way up, all the way down. Again, create that tension. Lock it in. Sit back. Using that whole chain up through your glutes. Quads. Kick it out, finish it off. All right, I don't know how many that was. Had it in point. If you're still going, got about 2.5 minutes. Trying to finish those 4 rounds. Whether it's pull-ups, pack it in, if you're using a kip. Use that kip, be explosive, still trying to get those lats involved. Really finish it off. Lead with your chest. Still try to maintain that stability. Flipping into it, bouncing out, big pull. Little planks. Keep that hip low. Abs tight, separate those feet. Take breaks if you need to. That's the other thing. We got 15 minutes. It could just be a nice 15-minute stroll in the park. Got about 2 minutes to go here. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. Last 90 seconds of your work. Solid squats, driving through, controlling that full range of motion, moving as fast as you're comfortable. Again, trying to maintain control through all those joints. Getting into our last minute here. We're doing pull-ups. Some more pull-ups here. A few ways you can go about doing it. Again, you could split it up. Try to bang out a 2 at a time. Keep that momentum. Let yourself down. In our last minute here. 1 at a time, leading with your chest. Trying to be explosive, squeezing those shoulders back. Take a lot of time in between. Your jumping pull-ups. Give yourself a nice little box. And give yourself some help on that first part. Get bands, go get some bands. We got about 30 seconds. I'm just talking. Keep working. Here we go, 20 seconds. Plank rows just to make you feel better about your life. 15 seconds. Let's finish. Finish strong. Maintaining form. Here we go. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That is time. Hope you finished. If you wanted to finish. Hope you had a good time either way. I'll see you in the cool down. What's up, guys? For the cool down, I have something special for you. This is the greatest stretch in the world. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just the world's greatest stretch. It's just a name. We're gonna start out here. Get a nice wide base, and you can shift yourself one way or the other. We're gonna get those feet lined up so we can drop down into like this instep, this nice deep lunge with our hands right in front. And from here, I wanna try to drop my hip. I wanna try to keep my chest tall. And I still wanna try to maintain a nice connection in my core. Keep those abs tight, hold my pelvis in place. If I can squeeze that back leg a little bit, really try to connect that whole system. And then from here, I'm gonna try to drop that inside elbow down. Give a little rotation. Push that shoulder, rotate the other way, open up. And again, abs are tight, glutes are tight, holding, locking everything in position. I'm gonna bring my hand to the other side of my foot over here. And then again, I'm gonna drop down in this lunge a little bit deeper. Really wanna try to think about this front leg, this front ankle, my calf. I'm driving on like the ball of my foot, trying to decrease the angle in my ankle and get that little stretch there as best I can. From there, I can shift back. If you're not privy to the straight leg hamstring stretch, you can drop down on a knee. Keep that front leg straight. And try to think about your hamstring. Try to keep your chest nice and tall. We can walk across. You can pull your toe up to intensify that a little bit more. Still keeping your chest straight, back straight. And again, from a straight leg or a bent knee. And then we're going to finish in this Cossack, this nice deep lateral lunge where I get my adductors nice and stretched out there. Drop it deep. If, again, you don't have the mobility to go quite as deep, you can still support yourself with your hands and try to kind of just drop down as much as you're comfortable. From there, we can shift over to the other side. And again, I want to straighten out my legs. I want to adjust myself to make sure everything can move straight forward. Dropping that hip down, chest nice and tall, abs tight, locked in position. I'm extended, but I'm still flexed. I'm still holding those muscles, still contracted, one would say. And then again, I'm gonna try to get that elbow down. Breathing deep. Raise up, embrace. Put my hand on the other side of my foot. Again, square myself up, try to drop in on this front ankle. Still should feel a stretch back here, but really try to put my focus up front, really driving into this knee, into the ball of my foot, into that ankle. Try to breathe into it. Again, from there I can shift back, try to keep my chest nice and tall, back straight. I can drop to the knee if I need to. Again, pulling this foot and toe up here is going to make it a little bit more intense. Walking your hands across, keeping your chest up, keeping your back straight. And then again, we can finish here on the side. Driving in deep, getting that groin, those adductors. We're going to kind of open up, keep my chest tall. I want to just feel comfortable in this position. I can move around, I can reach in it. All right. We're going to finish there. Thanks for tagging along. That is our follow along for Monday, April 26th. Don't pass out. See you later.